What does the future of music actually sound like?
Wait, 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 hey, wait, 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 wait.
Yeah.
That guy's brain just works in a completely different way than mine does. It's yeah, it's amazing.
I think the first time I saw it, when he got to the middle, I literally like pulled my hair out. I had hair one night before I watched that video, and now he just blew my mind with the up fader play. I was like, what is going on? Yeah.
Right, where he's pushing them and then drumming at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, just insane. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ty from Agiprodj DJ. You just watched the quick first routine that we've seen from A-Trak, debuting the brand new Rane 70 A-Trak Signature Edition. I'm joined here today by Jake Hill, who's product specialist for Rane. And Jake, you've been with the company for a little bit. We haven't done a live with you before, and then a lot of people may not recognize your face. So do you want to take a couple minutes and give everybody the quick and dirty on who you are and how you came to Rane and what you like, what you love?
Yeah,
what you don't like to yourself.
Yeah, well, I love DJing. That's why I'm here. So I've been with the company for, since October. I jumped over in the middle of the pandemic when I was like, you know what, this opportunity opened up. I just had to take it. But I've been a DJ for 25, 26 years. I mean, I've been, buying things from Agiprodj DJ for a long time, and then doing weddings and clubs and things like that. Just been a true passion of mine. So probably my biggest moment was in 2015. I was a Red Bull 3 Style U.S. regional finalist, and that was the last year where we did all the different regions. So I got to go to Chicago and battle with some really good DJs, and that was amazing. And I mess around and do some DMC stuff here and there. I never win anything, but it's always all about the art, all about the culture, and learning and enjoying, playing with this awesome gear like this mixer and then whatever I can get my hands on. So love DJing, love Rane, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Right
on. 26 years, you're an old dog like us.
Yeah, like every DJ that spins on vinyl, you ask them when they started, like, mid 90s. I mean, that's when Juice came out, and Juice is what got me started. That movie.
Oh,
Juice,
right on.
Yeah.
I got you beat a little bit. My DJing debut was 87, so I'm old. I'm old. So yeah, so this mixer is amazing, right? Like I'm so excited we get to finally show it to people. It's been sitting in the warehouse for like a month now, and we've had it and kind of drool over it. And it's the first thing. It's impossible to actually explain what this thing looks like and feels like. It's not just like a chunk of brushed metal, right? Jake, you kind of explained to us yesterday what the fit and finish was on it. It's something special, right?
Yeah, here, I'll go to my overhead. We'll just take a look at it. Yeah, so this has been in my studio here for a few months now, and I've been really putting it through its paces. And what's so cool about it is it's a Lexan coated faceplate, and it's here, I'll move it. You can see the sheen. I mean, and no fingerprints. I haven't actually cleaned it off other than brushing it off. But all the custom graphics are designed by A-Trak and team, and they're under this coating so they don't wear off. Like this T, if this were a different mixer, this might have been worn off by now. But I mean, it's solid, and it's so it's so pretty. It's just like a piece of jewelry, honestly. And then the knobs too, you can see that they're aluminum capped, so they gleam as well. They're rotary style, so they have the nice like ridges for grip.
They're the knobs from this guy, right?
I don't know if they're the exact knobs. They're very similar.
They're close.
Yeah,
they're close. I don't want to pop one. I guess I could pop.
Yeah, just yank one off.
They're pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close.
These don't come off quite as. Oh, there we go. All right, confirmed.
All right, put that one to bed. We confirmed that.
Same knob. All right. That was useless information. But someone commented those knobs are everything. It's just a fire looking mixer. So, Jake, I'm going to have Kevin bounce me out of here, and I'm going to let you show everybody what's going on with this mixer. And I know we just saw the quick overview or the quick demo from A-Trak, but give everybody the in-depth and take it away, man.
Yeah, for sure. Let me just adjust my mic over here. All right, so I'm just going to talk through. So we've already covered the fit and finish and the knobs, and we've established that it's a gorgeous mixer. But let's talk about what's under the hood. As I like to say, it's not just a pretty faceplate. There's more to it. So it has a custom sound curve that A-Trak worked really closely with their engineers to spec out. And the best way to describe it, it matches his sound, and it sounds the way he wanted it to sound without over boosting anything. It's more adjusting the current levels so that it has his kind of signature sound when he's playing festivals, clubs, and things like that. So that's going to be really hard to show you on this live stream. We'd have to plug it into a super large sound system and hear it. So what I am going to show you are the fader effects, which is, in my opinion, the coolest thing about this mixer. So it's built upon the 70. So the 70 had these 6 internal effects, and fader effects took over the delay slot. So what fader effects does is when it's engaged, it turns these up faders into linear controls for each effect. So I'll take you through them, but let me just tell you what they are first, and then we'll go through one by one, and I'll just give a quick demo. So shift and fader effects button takes you into the fader effects menu. So the fader effects are roll, pitch, ring modulator. The first one was filter. I jumped over that one. And then 4 tone generators with 4 different tone types: sine, sawtooth, square, and triangle. So the cool thing about these fader effects, they're not just like a gimmicky set it and forget it. There's some depth there. So you can definitely tell that A-Trak had his hand in the design of this, because it's not just a simple, filter. There's options. You can customize it. So for example, filter, we have band pass, low pass, and high pass. So I'm just going to pop this track on, and we'll just show you how it works. All right, I'm going to engage the fader effect. Very self-explanatory, and this is the different filter types. One thing to note, the depth knob is the wet or dry. Can we cut that one out? We'll go to the next one. That was the filter. Now, roll is another really cool one that I think a lot of DJs will use. There's an optional high-pass filter, but the depth knob will set that as well. So I just grabbed the loop. I can even stop that turntable. And then the high-pass filter on. And that's the part of the video where A-Trak blew my mind, was when he was doing that roll and the pitch fading and things like that. So that is roll. Let me move on to the next one, and which is pitch. Now pitch is really cool because it'll grab whatever sample and you can repitch it with the upfader. And I personally like it on scratch samples. And if you use the depth knob, you can bring in more of your sample or just keep it all pitched. And the cool thing about pitch as well is you have different options to set your pitch. You can make it go down, so the upfader will pitch it down. It can pitch it up, or it could pitch it up wide or down wide. So on the video that you saw, A-Trak, he does the up wide. And also you can set the scale major, minor off. So in like an up wide, let me just turn the volume. Yeah, so some wild stuff there with the pitch. I like that one a lot. And then on to the next one, we have a ring modulator. And not only is it just a ring modulator, but we're talking a lot of options here. You can set the frequency 800 hertz up to 8,000 hertz. And you can also set it to decrease or increase with the upfader. And we'll just put this track back on here. I'll put the ring mod on. And I can use a filter. Put the filter on. Sounds really cool with the scratch sample too. Almost gives it like a growl, you know, like a... So yeah, so a lot of options there with the ring modulator, and that's one of those effects I'm excited to see what real DJs can do with that, not just me. So next we have, we're diving into the tone generators. And this is really cool because you can set the note, the octave, and the scale, major, minor, or off. So the sine tone generator, I'll just take you through those real quick so you guys can hear them all. And then I'll show you a few options with those. So on all the tone generators, the depth knob is basically the volume. So you can mix it in with your normal sample or song, or you can have a full tone generator like this. Put a filter on there. Over to Sawtooth. And you can play it with the effects pedal as well. Sawtooth. I really like the filters. When you bite into the filter on these tone generators, it sounds really cool. That's square, and then here's triangle. The one thing to note too, when you're in fader effects, these are the internal effects. So you can also layer on your Serato effects on there. So just hit the middle button. And so I have an echo over here. And so I can hit my tone generator with this echo. Sounds like a Lil Wayne track. So yeah, and then just like any effect, you can go back into the menu, and you can set the depth. So the beat division, and a little trick from A-Trak that I learned in one of his videos that he recorded with this mixer. If you have a sample going on one side and you want to scratch over it and you want the tempo to carry over to the other side, you just hold shift and hit the joystick, and it will bring that tempo over to this side. So when you are, echoing with a sample or something like that, it'll match the tempo. But yeah, those are the fader effects in a nutshell. I mean, I can take answers or take questions on the specifics of them, but the key things are they turn these up faders into linear controls. Your volume locks off when you engage fader effects. So that's why you see me adjusting the gain knob for the volume, because these obviously can't control the volume if they're controlling the effect. And then, these function differently for each fader effect. Sometimes they're basically volume, but most of the time they're like a wet dry. And the beat divisions and the things like that are completely, you can set those and customize those. And like the roll effect is one that it has a great effect. It either grabs, 1 beat, 2 beats, 4 beats, or you can take the divisions down from there. So that's the 70 A-Trak Signature Edition.
Awesome. Very cool. Kevin, you want to start throwing some questions up and we'll go over these with Jake? Juice is a classic. Indeed, indeed.
It really is.
DJ 3PM says, so the A-Trak 70 truly has custom features. It's not just a skin like the Z-Trip. Absolutely.
Yep. 100% agree. Yeah, the fader effects, and those are exclusive. Let me add in the fader effects. Those aren't coming to the 70. Those belong in this mixer. And they can't be, there's not a firmware update that will add them to the 70. This is its own thing.
Right. I mean, that's what I think that people really should understand, is that this was designed with A-Trak. It's not like other features that have popped into Serato and then they're going to show up in Serato later. These are hardware effects built into the mixer, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Correct. When will Serato be released for this awesome mixer? Current version, right?
Yeah, it should be today. I don't know what time. They're in New Zealand, so they're dropping it today. Hope I didn't, leak anything, but it's coming. So the current version will be out soon.
Okay, perfect. Does the track always stay at 100% volume when the upfaders are being used for effects, or does the mixer lock whatever value the upfader was at before? That's a great question.
Well, I know there was
show that, Jake, and explain.
Let's do it. Yeah, so it's when the fader effects effect button is engaged is when it locks off. And what it does, it goes to 100. So again, and we went through a few version or iterations of that, and ultimately that's what A-Trak wanted to do, is because most battle scratch DJs, they're up at 100 anyway, so that made more sense and it would be less confusing than see, there we go, we're locked on. And then my recommendation on that is just use your awesome rotary style gain knob if you're fading out.
Perfect. What else, Kevin? I don't know if I can bounce these in there or not. That's not really a question, but selfless sales pitch. We have these in stock, actually, like a whole pallet of them. And I think we got about half of them left, just a little less than half left. So if you're looking to pick one up, links are in the chat, and reach out to your sales team and we'll get y'all taken care of. These are going to ship out today until they're sold out. Yep. Anybody else have any questions? There were lots of good ones. Anything else new?
Well, I'll show you something cool while we take some questions on ring modulator. Another fun thing. as I was initially testing this, I just threw some vinyl on, and let me go. I switched it over to phono, so it's basically vinyl mode right now. So with ring modulator, you can kind of drum around, and your needle will pick up the rings. Some atmospheric effects. I don't know. That's just a little tidbit. There's a tip for you. I was more like killing time, stretching time so we get some questions.
Or if it's going to be available with all the tricks. Well, are there any? There's nothing. There's an actual breakdown of the mixer yet. Is there, Jake, or is it just the performance from A-Trak?
Well, we've got the performance from A-Trak. We'll break down all the effects in a future video. We're breaking them down individually. We've been doing like some short form content for social, so just keep an eye on our Instagram, Facebook,
Right on.
and then we'll break them down one by one.
Cool. And if you got here late, we'll run the performance video at the end of the live stream. So, auto BPM analog. Does the mixer detect auto BPM when you're on analog side? I know this is something that people have asked about or complained about the original 70s. So
yeah, well, it inherits all this from the original 70. So anything in the original 70, especially a lot of people like the dialing it in,
right?
As far as BPM with the encoder, that's over here. So yeah, that's everything is inherited from the 70, with the exception of the delay effect is it replaced with the fader effects section and on the faceplate and all that good stuff.
Right. Cool. All right, we're just like dragging out time here. Anybody else have any questions? Anything about all the individual sections? Anybody would like to see a specific effect in a little more depth? I don't know, Jake, what's your favorite part about the mixer? What's your favorite feature that is on this?
Well, I'll answer that. I'll break it down two ways. The most practical feature, I try to think like if I was DJing with this, what would I use all the time?
Great.
It would probably be that the roll, just because you can do so much with grabbing the. I'll pop it on. Get that down, so I can change my beat division. I can go like half beat. I can see using that to mix out of tracks, or do the full one beat, and then with the high pass filter on, and then boom, drop in the next track. I see that being one that is used quite a bit. And then honestly, the tone generators. I'm not like the most musical guy, admittedly so. But just playing around with the tone generators, I could see that being. It's easy to Serato will tell you what key everything is in. Then it's like, oh well, A minor. All right, and then you pick the tone. And then voila, your A-Trak, So
right.
I think that's really fun to play with. So roll is like, I think the most practical effect I like. Other than that, the most interesting effect overall, just the depth of the tone generators is really cool. And then I like the pitch effect too.
Right. Tell me if I'm off, but could you use the tone generators with the fader and do like some pitch play stuff?
Yeah, you totally could. Yep.
Right. I can see that popping up in a routine. So Kevin, can you bounce my picture in real quick, please? So if you didn't realize what was on the turntable, the 70 A-Trak includes a set of 10-inch clear sticker lock vinyl. These are only available from one other occasion, and they are only going to be available inside of this mixer, which is limited edition. And then you get some, and you can't see through this because you just can't see through it. But it includes glittery, sparkly A-Trak, Fool's Gold, sticker lock stickers are also included with the mixer. So a lot of people have asked, I've noticed some questions online where people have asked if there's custom vinyl included with it. So that's pretty custom. I don't think you're going to be able to get 10-inch sticker lock anywhere else but with this mixer, unless you picked it up on a previous occasion, which we don't need to talk about. So anywho, yeah. Probably enough to close the Q&A. Jake, any parting words, any final thoughts? This is really exciting, right? Like and it's I'm really happy, and I'm super impressed that Rane was able to do a launch and ship, which I absolutely, as a retailer, love, and I think it's fantastic. And I think from a customer side, it's also amazing. It really is. It I think it's super respectful to the customer, right? Like it shows that you guys cared about that experience where you wouldn't show a mixer and then this might ship in November or December or even possibly worse. And I think it speaks volumes to how well In Music and Rane are handling supply chain in just this post pandemic crap, that
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
were able to get a brand new mixer launched and shipped and over here to the United States out to retailers on launch day. I think that's badass.
Yeah, me too. And A-Trak's super happy about it too. I think he might be more excited than we are about it, but
He's
yeah.
excited because he's giving them away to everybody. They're like A-Trak presents, like Christmas presents.
Yeah, funny story. He gave us the list. He's like, I'm gonna give it to my 20 closest guys, and then he gave us a list. I was like, it's like the who's who, of all DJs ever. So I was like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, no problem, we'll make this happen.
Right.
Yeah, crazy.
Friends
Yeah, I guess
friends.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, parting words for me. This is a fun mixer. If you're a turntablist DJ, or even if you just do a little bit of turntablism, and if you like to put together routines or even mixes or anything, I think the fader effects, especially if you're a performer, it gives you another element of actually engaging with the mixer, and taking it above just dropping in an echo effect or something like that. You're performing with it, so it's less of just a channel to play your sound through a mix, but it's actually a performance piece. So it's a lot of fun, and I think definitely for the small increase in price over the 70, which I was shocked that it's only like here in the US like $200 more. It's an amazing value, honestly. So yeah, I'd say hit up AGI Pro DJ and grab them before you can't.
Appreciate that. Absolutely. Yeah, man, I'm not a turntablist at all, and I am super excited to actually see this mixer get into the hands of upper level DJs. There's a lot of like everyday DJs that are mind-blowingly amazing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some quality performances out of people doing some next level and completely different stuff, because they've been provided a tool that frankly didn't really exist. This integrated into a mixer, right?
Right. And I think the thing that's really, it's the depth that everything is you created with such depth. Like a DJ can take this and fine tune it like no other DJ and have their own sound, just because there's so many options. Even with all the fader effects have additional, scale options and key options and things like that. And the thing I'm most excited to see real DJs, like really talented DJs, use is that ring modulator, just because there's so much there, and I just want to be, kind of surprised and delighted by what they do with it, because I just know it's going to blow some minds. So I'm really excited.
I agree. I totally agree. Ramon just sent me a quick message. Jake, this thing is limited edition, correct?
Yeah, super limited, and we're not just saying that. It's pretty limited. I would say,
Right.
I can't say a number, but I mean, there's a few hundred. We'll say that.
Yeah, there's not a lot, and literally when they're gone, they're gone. They are gone. So if this is something you're looking to pick up, the time to act is today. Like I said, before we went into this live stream, we only had just a little less than half left. So we'll throw links up in the chat. Yeah. So if you're looking to pick one up, today's the day. Honestly, I'd be surprised if we had any tomorrow, but maybe by end of the day tomorrow. So, Jake, I really appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much for
Thanks for having me.
for hanging out with us and giving us a great overview on the A-Trak. Welcome to Rane, and cool to have you on the manufacturer side now rather than the customer side. But looking forward to working with you, and we'll have to do these live streams again. Everybody that's watched, thank you so much for hanging out on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Facebook. And hang out. Kevin's going to run the A-Trak performance piece when we are done. And that's it. I'm out. Thanks,
Cool.
Jake.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. He's not ready. I hear this. I'm not ready out of his office. He's bringing it up. Hold on. Stand by. Bum, 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 bum.
What
There we go.
does the future
Here
of
we go.
music actually sound like?
Wait, 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 hey, wait, 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 wait.
This is the part. This is just mind blowing right here. Crazy.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
All right, so everybody's still hanging. If anybody is still here hanging out, Jake, are you cool if we roll the unboxing video? Well, Jake's gone.
Yeah, no. No, I mean you can roll it. We were gonna kind of like call a little more attention to it next week. Let the performance video right out, but you can see the unboxing video on Rane.com too. So if you want to let it rip, you totally can.
Cool. All right, man. So I'm gonna bounce out. You're free to go. We're gonna let it roll. Watch the performance video and then watch it again and then watch it again. The guy's next level, and it shows. It's clear, and you can tell. It's all him in this mixer, right? Like it's just, hey, I just thought I'd design a mixer with this badass company that makes incredible DJ gear, and here we go. So yeah, super cool. Everybody, thanks for watching. I'm gonna bounce. Jake's gonna bounce. We're gonna roll the unboxing. But go and watch a performance video. If you want one, pick it up today. They're probably not going to be here tomorrow. Maybe, who knows? They are super limited. And don't forget the 10-inch sticker lock vinyl and all the super dope features that are on the A-Trak. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Jake, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you.
See you, everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am really excited right now because today I get to show you my own signature mixer. First time I have one of these. This right here is the Rane 70 A-Trak Signature Edition. So we're gonna do an unboxing. I'm gonna show you everything that comes with it and the special features. There's 3 things that I customized. There's the design element. 2 is there's some effects that I added for the more advanced turntablists for some next level tricks. 3 is the sound curve. I worked with the engineers at Rane to customize the sound curve to suit a little bit more my style. So let's go ahead and look at what's in the box. All right. Look at that. Okay, first things first. A little note from me. A little thank you for getting my mixer note and, you know, my life story. So this comes in, and then you got, you know, some of the technicalities, a very good quality USB cord, power cord, and then we'll get to the actual mixer, and there's a little surprise underneath. She emerges. This is a true unboxing. Let's take a look at the little, this is like at the bottom of the cereal box when you get the candy. You get this awesome Serato control vinyl. The mixer has a Serato sound card built in. And I love these 10-inch records. They're great to travel with. They can fit in your bag way better than a 12-inch record. So we got these gorgeous, transparent control records, and I believe they come with something else too. Let's look in here. There it is. We got a little sheet of, this might look like just silver print, but these are stickers that you can use as markers. The idea is you put the adhesive part under the record, and then look at that, you get your markers coming through. Okay, before we go any further, I'm gonna do a little cleanup. Oh man, whew, much better. Okay, introducing my firstborn, the A-Trak Signature Edition of the Rane 70. So, a little overview. Design-wise, the standard Rane 70 is all black, so we went ahead and put a brushed metallic finish faceplate and then worked on the design of everything on here. So this was a group effort. Shout out to my brother Dave One, always helps me out with the creative direction and design. And then we worked with a team of typographists. Literally everything that's printed on here is custom type created just for this mixer. All the way to the little dots on the fader. Everything was you know, rethought. The other thing about the design is these rotary knobs. So this is, you know, primarily a scratch performance mixer. I don't think there's ever been a scratch mixer, turntablist mixer with rotaries, but I just love the way these look and actually feel great. There's kind of like a confidence you get from gripping these knobs. We went through samples of metals and everything to get you and me, but also you, this premium scratch performance mixer. This really comes alive when it's plugged into my DJ setup, so let's just go see how it runs in the studio. All right, here we are with the Rane 70 A-Trak Edition. In context, I'm gonna specifically stop on a couple things that were customized. So I guess sort of top to bottom, you got your gains or levels are over here, your filter is here, and that could be tweaked a little bit in the setup menu, which we'll look at soon. EQ, high, mid, low, obviously. These selecta, are to scroll in your library on Serato. If you click down, it loads a song. On this side, session in and out. So session in is like an extra aux in. Session out is an extra output with its own level, so you can also jam with other DJs. If they have a mixer, then you go from one session in to the other out. This area here is your effects section. So there's 6 effect buttons that are that run inside the mixer, and then there's also software effects here that lets you use Serato's software effects. And this is your toggles that turn on for each deck independently, either lock them in place or just manually, you know, obviously cue points in Serato. If you hit that a second time, you get pitch play. So if you go into pitch play, you hit shift, you can choose which hot cue that you actually want to pitch. So let's go for this one. Right? Pitch. So fun for tone play routines. Saved loop, you can recall loops that are saved in Serato. Roll, beat jump is this section here. Sampler, you know my sound.
A-Trak on the track.
But I also have
Fool's gold.
with the parameter buttons I can jump to different sound banks. So one thing that's really cool, that's a newer feature supported by Serato, there's something called Scratch Kit. So if you hit the sampler selector a second time, these are 8 sort of shortcuts to scratch samples that are in other songs, in other files. So if I choose this or this, that's not even on the song that was loaded. It's jumping between different files. So it's really fun to be able to queue up some scratch samples. So one thing to know just in general, even aside from these features, the sound curve of the mixer is something that I worked on with the engineers at Rane. Especially on the low end, it's not boosted or enhanced, it's not artificial, it's not going to change the way your track sounds. It just has a response that has a little bit more detail on the low end that I prefer personally. So let's play a beat, and I'm going to show you guys one thing that happens sometimes with scratch samples. So the BPM of the effects is just going off the BPM information that's in Serato. So if this track here is at 129 and it's on my right deck, and let's say I want to scratch on the left and have an echo on that scratch, because on this mixer the effects sections are separated between the 2 decks, which opens up a whole bunch of options. The sort of caveat of that is, if I want to put an effect on my scratch sample, initially it's going to read the BPM of the scratch sample, not of the beat. So I came up with a shortcut that allows you to grab the BPM of the beat and copy it over to the other deck. And so the way that works is, with your little joystick, you go to the deck that has the sort of master tempo you want to use, and you hit shift and then move it over to the deck that has your scratch sample, and now they're both at the same tempo. Right? So that's on beat. To get out of this sort of manual tempo, you go back to software BPM and you just hold down tap. You can also manually tap to whatever BPM you want. If you want to get out of that, again, just hold down tap and it goes back to the default tempo. And one of the things that's really great with this mixer, each deck is handled separately, so you can have cue points on one side and, for example, your sampler on the other side. That's kind of rare. It's very cool. This is something that I changed a little bit. This little button on the standard Rane 70 is instant doubles. I find that it's pretty important to have a sync button for Serato that's easily accessible on your mixer. So by default on the A-Trak mixer, it is sync. That being said, if you prefer to have something else, go into the menu of the mixer. So to go into the settings of the mixer, shift tap. One thing to know in general with these effects, if you can access the preferences or the sort of settings of each one by hitting shift and going into each effect. One thing that I love that's a little bit of a hidden gem is what's called the hold echo. That's actually a looper. So you can make beats with this mixer. So let's go into that same track. Let's see. So I can actually use the hold echo to create a loop, and it's going to keep going for as long as I want until I cut it off, and then I can layer other loops on top. Let's see. All right, so that's looping. Temporarily, I can use the depth knob to cut that off. So let's say I'm scratching on top of this, I can mute it, come back, and then I can add other stuff on top. So when the effect is not turned on, I can hear it, but it's not recording. So let's see what else I have. So for example, right? I add another layer. So you might think, how do you get out of the infinity loop? Just hit another effect. Before I do that, one more thing. Again, because we have these independent decks, if you want to also add loops from this deck, you can use that shift left or right joystick trick to stick the same BPM on both decks so that your loops stay on beat if you're using two decks. I'm going to stop it by hitting reverb and then back into echo if I want. Fader effects is where some of the fun is too. So let's go into that world. The idea here is that your channel faders become what control the parameters for those effects. One thing that we did that I want to make sure people understand before they start using it is as soon as you go into fader effects mode, as soon as that is activated, the channel faders no longer control volume. When this is selected, even if you're down here, it's going to be full volume for that channel, so that you can use your effects on and off and your channel fader to control parameters. Crossfader works, so if you don't want to use this deck, you have the crossfader on the other side. But just don't be surprised if you have sound coming out like this when the channel faders are down. It's because you're in fader effects and the volume is deactivated here. And then the depth is really important for each of these effects. So that's what you're basically playing with. You're going into shift to fader effects, choosing which effect you want to play with, and turning it on with the toggles, affecting it with this, and the depth is your sort of dry wet. So filters. Right now it's on low pass. Sounds nice. Okay, high pass, band pass. Don't sleep on band pass, it's dope. Sounds great. All right. So that's your filter. Let's go into roll. So. So you can also use that as a sort of looper also. Right? Let's go to pitch. That's a lot of fun. So. And you can have, we had fun with the scale. So the first no scale. Your very own boing. But if you put it on minor scale, for example, the possibilities are endless. And then we have a couple of oscillators, 4 oscillators. You got a sine wave, you got sawtooth, square, triangle. And with the oscillators, the depth is good to mess around with the nuances. So you can choose your root note, the octave, how high or low it is, and scale options too. So let's try some stuff out. That's a triangle. right? So when the depth is all the way at the max, it cuts off the track. When it's around this level, the track should be full volume, but the tone will also be full volume. Right? And then the more you lower this, the lower the tone will be. All right? But then you can go and grab a sine wave and make a low octave. That's almost like a sub. That's dope. So that's your fader effects. It's the A-Trak edition of the Rane 70. Check it out for yourself. Hope you're pleased. I know I am. I already got a new routine with this thing. Another one in the works. We're gonna keep it coming. Peace, y'all.
They're actually ship out today. Couple of months. Kevin, what?
I'm trying to tell him that his audio's all out of whack.
Probably is.
It is. You're all garbly.
I'm done.
Yeah, it's the robotic tie. It's your variant. I don't know how to fix you on the fly. You'll have to remove and come right back.
Does that sound any better?
There you go.
Okay, we'll just use the microphone built in the laptop. Anyway, everybody, thank you much for hanging out with us and watching. This mixer is really super cool, like really super cool. And my brain just explodes every time I watch him get down on that thing. It's nuts. If you missed any pieces of the videos, there's a performance video, there's an unboxing video. They're available on Rane's YouTube channel. They are available on the AGI Pro DJ product page for the 70 A-Trak Signature Edition that ships today, if you buy today. And there's a link right there down below. And they come with 10-inch clear sticker lock vinyl with some cool glittery A-Trak sticker lock labels. They're in stock. If you're even remotely on the fence on this thing, just letting everybody know, you got to pick one up probably within 24 hours. They're limited edition. Nobody knows exactly how many numbers there are, but we're not getting any more. What we have is what we have, and when they're gone, they're gone. So yeah, if you're looking to pick one up, there's financing available on the website, Affirm financing at checkout, PayPal credit at checkout. We take credit cards, we take PayPal, we take Amazon Pay. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks so much for hanging out today, everybody. Thanks for everybody on the Twitch stream, on YouTube, on Facebook. This has been fun. We haven't done a live stream in a while. We're just, kind of hanging in there through the post-pandemic gear apocalypse, where there's absolutely, nothing on the shelves in the warehouse at times. But we're getting through it. So, and then Kevin broke his leg. That was cool. So yeah, the number of hats that I've been wearing would just stack up on top of my head. But hey, we're here for you guys. And we don't take Doge. Are you shitting me? I do take Bitcoin. And yeah, so there's that. Anyhow, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for checking it out. If you're going to pick one up, do it today. Don't be sorry. And thanks to Jake from Rane also. Everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Facebook, thanks for hanging out. All of our longtime customers, thanks for watching. All of our new customers, thanks for hanging out with us. We're cool dudes. We sell cool gear. We take good care of people. We treat everybody like family. That's what we're all about. DJs helping DJs. I'm Ty. On behalf of Kevin and Ramon, the rest of the team here, thanks for hanging out today. I'm out.